This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Baltimore Orioles POSTCAST. My name is Luke Slaybaugh, and this is the Locked On Podcast Network. Tonight, we're talking about a 4-1 loss at the hands of the Detroit Tigers. As always, the show is streaming live on YouTube, and it is available on demand next day on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts for free. Bear with me tonight out here in St. Louis, Missouri, middle of nowhere. Seems like the Wi-Fi bars are looking a little bit low here. So I apologize if this is chopping in and out live. I believe on demand it will be better suited for streaming, but don't judge me on that. People at the company have had problems with StreamYard all day. So if this is being choppy or not cooperating, just let me know in the comments, and anything that you need clarity on, by all means, I am happy to talk it out with you. And one thing we got to talk about now is that the O's have dropped back-to-back series. One out west to the lowly Athletics, who were on the decline, and this one more tolerable and understandable against the league-leading Detroit Tigers. Going up against arguably the best pitcher in baseball, Tarik Skubal.
This is what you'll be talking about.
The haters said the O's couldn't do it, that the O's would fail going up against the ace left-hander, the all-star, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, Tarik Skubal. And they were right. Honestly, great call by the haters. You're going up against the game's best pitcher, arguably. He is a Picasso. He's efficient. Going into tonight, had a strikeout to walk ratio of 15. He never walks people. And in fact, that might be the best accomplishment by the Orioles tonight, getting two base runners on via the walk. Coby Mayo in the second and Ramon Laureano in the seventh. The thing about Skubal is his velocity ramps up over the course of an outing. He's a horse. He's trained to go 7-8 innings. He is everything you could want and then some. If he's not a Tiger for life, something is wrong with that front office. And to the O's credit, they had an opportunity to jump out early. With 2 outs, bottom 2, Coby Mayo draws a walk, takes a fastball right at the knees, but with confidence, glides over the first base. Dylan Carlson then hits a bloop single to left field. One of 3 hits today, a 3-for-3 day for DC. Mayo, who runs really well, goes from first to third. Unfortunately, Colton Cowser gets bested by the high heat, strikes out on 3 pitches, and snuffs out whatever rally the O's had planned. However, they were able to ramp up Skubal's pitch count to 33 through 2 innings. You might say that even the first inning they showed some punch. Jordan Westburg, first batter of the game in the leadoff spot, 5-pitch at bat, hits a ball to the warning track, maybe 3 or 4 feet from the wall. Right fielder Kerry Carpenter able to leap and take away what was probably 2 bases from Jordan Westburg. Gunnar Henderson with 2 outs hits kind of a cue shot to the left side. Dribbler for a single, his 3rd consecutive game with a hit off a left-handed pitcher. 2 walks for the O's against Skubal. He had 6 strikeouts through 7 innings, so this is gradual improvement. In April, he struck out 11 Orioles up in Motown. So the O's were able to square up Tarik Skubal a little bit more. But probably the best performance in this game offensively was Dylan Carlson, who goes 3 for 3. His OPS creeps up to 752. That home run did wonders for his slugging percentage. Carlson was touted as a 5-tool prospect when the Cardinals drafted him out of high school, Bay Area. Never really came together, often injured in St. Louis. That 2021 campaign, he had 18 home runs. And with regular playing time, he's showing how some of those tools can flourish. This was bottom 8, a solo shot off of right-hander Tommy Kahnle. Just dropped the bat head on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball low. But going 2 for 2 against Tarik Skubal, not a bad day for DC. Wish you could say more for the O's offense. We're about 5 minutes into this stream. Just wanted to say thank you all here for tuning in on this Thursday night. I know you have plenty of options. Again, the Wi-Fi bars and the streaming software have been confuzzling all day to the Locked On staff. I want to say thank you for joining me here. Coming up, we're going to talk about Dean Kramer. A little bit of a post-mortem on his outing. Started out good, ended good, a little bit of squeamish in the middle. You go on social media, you see the people giving up on Dean Kramer, the last salvageable piece, the accrued interest on the Manny Machado trade. We'll discuss that. And we'll look ahead to the Angels series. 3 games coming up against a team that is now challenging for an AL wildcard spot. You wish the O's would too. Stick with us. We'll be back after this. Show's brought to you by FanDuel. NBA Finals going to Game 4. Did not expect the Pacers to be ahead in this series at all. I got a former coworker who's a Pacers fan, and I hope he's a former Pacers fan after this series. FanDuel says it's easier to stay in on the action now more than ever before. Before tip-off and live, you can do player props, performance trends, same-game parlays. More ways than ever to play smart and win big. How about Benedict Mathurin? Benny Buckets. 27 points off the bench. Rick Carlisle's secret weapon. A great first-round draft choice by the Pacers. Love that guy. He's got kind of an attitude about him, some swagger, some kind of silent killer about him. But Benny is great. I would pick him anytime. And if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com, place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Also want to give a shout out to Gametime. If you've ever decided last minute it's time to go to an Orioles game, maybe you wanted to see Tarik Skubal carve up the O's. Maybe you want to see Jack Kahanowitz tomorrow. You remember that guy? He's pitching for the Angels tomorrow. Maybe Charlie Morton is your favorite player on the Orioles. Don't know why. That's when Gametime comes in. Easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, even invite a bigger group to come with you. My old roommate from Annapolis, we go to O's games. It's a great time. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop closer to first pitch, so you've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee as game time approaches. It just takes the worry out of buying. There's a feature on the app where you can view your seat before you buy it. It's very popular. You're going to know exactly where your seat is, what the angle is. Does it face home plate? Found out last time on Memorial Day, I'm not a big fan of the third base line anymore. You got to crane your neck a full 90 degrees. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use this code. It's all one word, locked on MLB, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account and redeem code locked on MLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. I tried to say about 3 words in one, so my apologies to Gametime. Congratulations to the Baltimore Orioles. You finally got Dean Kramer to pitch into the 8th inning. It took about 2.5 years, and it took some unconventional methods, but here we are. I gotta say, using Keegan Aiken, the left-hander reliever, as an opener tonight for Dean Kramer, who has not shown any signs of wear and tear, is an interesting choice by interim manager Tony Mansolino and perhaps his higher-ups. Something must be brewing here. And no, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for the O's to trade Dean Kramer. What would they get back? A subscription to Gametime? But for the second time in his career, the right-hander is preceded by an opener and works in a relief setting. Dean Kramer's got 2 more years of team control. And again, the last piece remaining in that trade with the Dodgers for Manny Machado from yesteryear. But credit to Tony Mansolino, it looked like the right move. Keegan Aiken performed well, 27 pitches, seemed pretty gassed at the end, but struck out Kerry Carpenter with 2 runners on, got him to chase a high heater. It's pretty darn good. And then Dean Kramer is faced with the unenviable task of going toe-to-toe with Tarik Skubal. And as I mentioned in the open, whoever in the comments last night was like, yeah, the O's can score 10 runs tonight, but it's going to be a role reversal against the ace Skubal. You're right. And comparing Casey Mize and Tarik Skubal, it's bad faith of me. Mea culpa, mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Pope is a White Sox fan. It's kind of cool. And Dean Kramer, to his credit, first 2 innings is able to cut through the Tigers lineup, which was stacking left-handers, or at least trying to. They had Kerry Carpenter there at fifth, and then Riley Green batting third. And so the bottom of that lineup looked like it is better equipped to face Dean Kramer. More on that in a second. Fourth inning, though, Kramer relying on his defense maybe gets a little bit lax.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Sean Michael on YouTube commenting live, Tarik Skubal deserves his own MVP trophy. He is in a league of his own. Top 4, 1 out. Dean Kramer is coasting. Grooves a first pitch cutter high to Dylan Dingler, 85 miles an hour, and he torches it. Solo shot to left center field. Colton Cowser giving chase from center. A lot's been made of the Denzel Clark catches the last week in Sacramento. The one against the Orioles was good, and then the one against Anaheim, or against the Angels, was otherworldly. The LA Angels. Him climbing up 2 steps and, twisting his body at an angle and going 3-4 feet beyond the wall to bring back a fly ball. This is kind of the opposite of that. Because before Colton can even lift off the ground or jump, the angle of the wall cuts him off and he runs into it. And this is discouraging to see from someone who just got back from a left thumb fracture. The 3-2-1 fence thing here didn't click. Unfortunate to see. It's a 1-0 ball game. That is at least manageable. Yes, you're going up against the best pitcher in baseball. Yet, if you can get to the Tigers bullpen, a 1-0 deficit and Dean Kramer on the mound can get you into the 7th or the 8th. You could be cooking with gas, and you saw what the O's did last night to the Tigers bullpen. Fortunately, that's not how it goes down. Kramer then coughs up a couple of singles to Zach McKinstry and Javi Baez, and then gives the high cheddar to Parker Meadows. The first RBIs and home run of the year for Meadows. Over the right field fence, it is a 4-0 ball game, thanks to another home run. Per Masson, that breaks a streak of 12 games of O's pitching, giving up 1 or fewer home runs. To Dean's credit, he finishes strong, and particularly by use of an effective splitter. Strikes out the final 2 in the top of the 6th, the aforementioned McKinstry and Baez on the splitter. In the 7th, gets Meadows to chase on the splitter. And then in the 8th, a 10-pitch duel with Kerry Carpenter ends with that low splitter. 7 of 8 Ks on that pitch. Good downward movement and command tonight. A pitch that he did not have in April against Detroit. So the final line for Dean Kramer is mixed. It's 105 pitches, 7 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, all coming via those 2 dingers. 8 strikeouts and 2 walks. The 4 spot in the 4th dooms Dean Kramer. Sean Michael says the Tigers are 45-25 for a reason, and I'm seeing now, this looks like a Justin Verlander ace card in the avatar. I could be way off base, but I do see the Old English D. If that's supposed to be Tarik Skubal, that's not him. If you're watching this on YouTube, tell me what Sean Michael looks like. And if you're not watching on YouTube, why aren't you watching on YouTube? What are we doing here? We carry on. And the O's will host the Los Angeles Angels, who do not play in Los Angeles. They play in Anaheim. Starting with Friday Night Baseball, 7:08 first pitch on Apple TV+. Ugh. I hadn't thought about Ryan Spielborgs in a decade. And here he will be commenting on this one. Commentating. Right-hander Charlie Morton on the bump against right-hander Jack Kahanowitz. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he did pitch in that series out in Anaheim and earned the win against Kyle Gibson. I believe it was the series opener out there in the LA area. Projected starters Saturday is going to be Tomo Sagano against lefty Tyler Anderson, who the O's defeated, I believe, in that series. And then Sunday's finale will be left-hander Cade Povich against Yusei Kikuchi. I believe that's how you say his name. We're going to tap out tonight. I know you have many options here on this Thursday, and it is dismal to say the least, as the O's drop 1 to the Detroit Tigers, fall 13 games under 500, 27-40 on the year, and drop a consecutive series. Still plenty of time to do some damage. Of course, you got the Rays coming up, 2 series against them, and then the Yankees up at the Bronx. Those will be testing games to see how well the O's can do as they get some people back from the injured list and hope to stick it to some contenders here in the American League. But for now, I'm Luke Slaybaugh signing off. Thanks for listening here to the Locked on Orioles postcast. Good night, stay safe, and I will see you right back here tomorrow night.